Hello and welcome everybody to the Join Dota League season number 3. After some small delays, we are finally in this 2-game series. HEHE United or HEHE will someday be United versus Power Rangers. And well, it is game number 1 of course. We are HeflaTV, I am Coucher, and today I am joined by Whiplash.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to be back casting with you again, Couch. It's been about a week or so, but jumping back on the saddle. Anyway, got some good European joined Dota League the cast, so excited to see Power Rangers, and I believe I've cast HeHe a little bit in the past as well, so already just jumping quickly into the draft. No surprises whatsoever from the bans. Of course, Doom, Razor removed by HeHe, while Lycan and Brewmaster removed by Power Rangers. And yeah, it looks like Power Rangers, they didn't want to give the Faceless Void combo with the Skyrock, so they picked that up, along with a first pick Mirana. That does look a little bit odd to me. What do you think about that, Couchshore?
Yeah, it's definitely nothing we see too much at the moment. I mean, it's a decent enough combination, I guess, with the faces with just guaranteed arrows, and always it will be nice to have the Moonlight Shadows forcing your enemy to sentries, or just so often in the early game, the supports they just don't have the goal to go for extra dusts or sentries. So it's definitely a great tool to just escape potentially. But I think there might have been stronger pickups to be had here. Maybe they have something special in mind with this, but HeHe, a Skyrift Mage and an IO combination to begin with.
Yeah, so it looks like they have a bit of plan of their own by picking up the early IO. And, a lot of good heroes that can pair with him. Of course, the most iconic combination, the Wisp Tiny, that we've seen time after time. But, you can also pair him up pretty well with like a Gyrocopter as well as like a Chaos Knight. And there are some other unconventional heroes that you can kind of stick with him as well. So, as you can see, Power Rangers, they banned out the Gyrocopter. Looks like they did not want to see that combo coming out from a HeHe. But from their end, they've gotten rid of the Shadow Demon as well as the Tinker. So this draft is actually moving pretty darn fast. It looks like these teams have an idea in mind of what they want to do, how they want to draft, and what they want to pretty much ban. And, there's another here that can be paired very well with the Wisp and the Tiny. So, yeah, we are just blazing right through this draft, Couchshore.
It's just lightning speed at the moment. I mean, I definitely understand the Gyrocopter ban because the last game I casted of HeHe, actually they did run the IO Gyrocopter combination. And IO Gyrocopter, I guess, is the second pick that is most common at the moment, apart from the Tiny. So just taking two of them out, I guess we still might see something like a Chaos Knight now, like you mentioned, maybe even a Riki. Some certain teams like to run IO Riki, IO Phantom Assassin, something along those lines. But we will see, and I mean, to be honest, with these lanes or just having an IO as a support, they very well might go for a Skyrift Mage mid as well, something like Navi ran with the new lineup. But Power Rangers at the moment, having themselves an Earthshaker, it's not the best of setups for a Mirana arrow, but it will do, plus it's pretty damn good against the IO as well, just a long range stun to use defensively or aggressively as well if need be.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the Earthshaker all around. I feel like he is one of the better supports in the current meta. The range on Fissure is just absolutely insane. But now the team's finally deciding to slow down a little bit in the draft, think a little bit more on what heroes they want to pick up. And yeah, I would actually really like to see like a Riki pickup or something really cool and unconventional to pair up the Wisp. But for now, HeHe will go ahead and get the Centaur. That will pretty much be their offlaner. And from Power Rangers' end, it's still not exactly sure how they want to do the laning. I mean, you can put Faceless Void in the off lane or the safe lane, and Mirana can be played in pretty much any position. I guess save the jungle. So, there's still a lot of options available for them, but they go ahead, they grab the Bat Riders, so that's most likely going to be their offlaner, and they're starting to have some sick initiation if you look at their overall lineup.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. I mean, just having the team fight and initiation is so good for them. HeHe though, they have some pretty good initiation of themselves and just a surprise factor with the possible relocates in. But Power Rangers, I did see them run a Battle Rider yesterday as well. It was just excellent through and through. Of course, they did have a Skyrift Mage to roam around with the Battle Rider, just lasso into Mystic Flare and just get kills left and right across the map. So at least that won't be available for Power Rangers. And I guess lasso into arrow, something like that is still very much possible. But HeHe now their fourth pick. What do they go for? Do they go for something that can potentially scout out the Bat Rider himself, or with some fast reactions can just try to avoid or dodge just getting lassoed?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. They still need their carry, and unless they want to run Skywrath as a core role, then they do need to pick up a mid hero. I still feel like he'll probably end up being support this game, just because I mean, he's a very squishy hero. It can be hard, and he can really fall off in the later stages if you do decide to run him in the core. So you'll want to finish the game sooner rather than later. And well, Power Rangers, they have pretty darn solid late game, and HEHE most likely will have pretty good late game, but we have to wait and see what they want to go ahead and pair with that Wisp.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, they're having some real issues with their drafting ever since the secondary phase hit. But they go for a Wraith King now, and it's still not clear whether it's going to be support Wraith King core one. Usually you would think, yes, Skyrim Mage support, so Wraith King just core. Of course, if a Wraith King is a core with an IO, that kind of helps against Wraith King's biggest weakness, just the low movement speed, the low mobility. Tethered up, the movement speed will be there, and of course additional mana to just maybe get some additional Rayfire Blast going. So we'll see how they want to run with this. And one thing, Power Rangers, I got to cast them actually in 4 consecutive games yesterday, and in every single game they took a huge lead early on just from the laning phase, winning almost every single lane. They did falter a little bit though in their just mid to late game decision making, and just almost ended up throwing some of those games. So I'm just interested to see whether they will be able to take that early lead again, or will he be able to stop them just from the get-go, and how will Power Rangers, if falling behind, how will they can manage?
I guess it'll be a tough one for them to do if they are having that problem in the mid and late game as far as decision making is concerned, because look at the heroes they got, like Faceless Void, Moran, and Batrider, even Earthshaker. These are heroes that you want to pretty much know exactly what you're doing. You don't want to second guess yourself if you go on there in Chronosphere and then it's like, uh-oh, well, they didn't really hit too many people, or we actually can't take this fight, things like that. It will just spell absolute disaster for Power Rangers, and they'll go ahead and ban out the Viper, so they pretty much think that, alright, either the Wraith King or Skywrath is core. It's looking, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure it's the Wraith King. I have seen a few teams run the Wraith King IO combination before. I believe even Zephyr has done that in the past. So that's something that I would not be surprised to see come out from them. We also have the Invoker banned out as the final ban, so pretty much just down to the mid heroes most likely from both teams.
Yeah, I was actually trying to figure out as well what mid hero Power Rangers could go for. If they really wanted to, they could send the Mirana there in theory, but it's just not strong. Pretty much that's the only way to put it. I have seen 2 mid lane Miranas, I think, across the last 2 or 3 days, and both of them have just completely flopped, done nothing at all for their team, and they've ended up losing. So hopefully, for that sake, we're not gonna see it. But Power Rangers, they have 1 minute in the reserve time. They have just plenty of time to make their last decision here. Do you see any just concrete pick in mind?
Well, I think maybe like a Templar Assassin pickup wouldn't be too bad. Oh, Death Prophet, that actually is a really good pick now that I think about it. Their Power Rangers needed kind of like a tanky hero and someone to help push a little bit, and this pretty much solves their problems as far as that's concerned. He do need a little bit of pushing power of their own, so we'll see if they can grab something that kind of can go toe to toe with the Death Prophet, provide a little bit of pushing power themselves. And carry wise, I am a little concerned for HEHE. I feel that Power Rangers definitely they have the better late game for sure from the look of things. They have to pick up someone that can really do good in the later stages if they want to try to compete with Power Rangers on the later levels.
Yeah, at the moment, I mean, they have a couple of ways they can go. They can still run the Skyrim Mage mid and just have IO, Wraith King, and Shadow Shaman to be picked up, but no, they go for a Puck instead. It definitely doesn't boost their late game too much, but it does give them just a lot of lockdown, just teamfight control early on, and the Puck is a hero that can possibly, maybe not dodge being lassoed completely, but Batrider comes in with the Blink Puck, he activates his phase shift, so it can in theory just be enough time for a Wraith King to just maybe get the Rayfire Blast onto the Batrider or anything along those lines, Centaur jump in with a Hoof Stomp. So I actually kind of like the Puck pickup here, and looks like they definitely want to end this game rather early than late.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that as well. And to me, the puck pick pretty much gives everything that he wanted that they lacked in their lineup before the final pick, except for like someone that can kind of help them out in the later stages as far as carry potential goes. Power Rangers has that in the bag hands down with the cores that they have picked up. But you know, if they kind of snowball a little bit early on, especially with heroes like the Skywrath Mage, for example, then I think they'll be in great shape and they'll be able to kind of overrun Power Rangers before, like, you know, the Death Prophet, the Moran, and Faceless Void can get too much farm. That being said, if it kind of just is decently even throughout the early and mid game, then Power Rangers shouldn't have too hard of a time taking this in the later stages.
You mean, I guess to be honest, since the Mirana is a support one, she may not be able to just get enough farm. If she gets off to an early start, sometimes we see support Miranas even going for like a 19-20 minute just hand of Midas, just to make sure that if this game really drags out late, they can go for that semi-carry-ish kind of build. So he, for example, their Centaur can also be somewhat of a carry if he's actually really farmed. So I think if it's equal farm in the late game, and for example the Mirana is still in the support role, then just having a Death Prophet, Faceless Void, and the Batrider to do the damage, it might also become a little bit hard, so we'll have to see who just gets the early advantage and, of course, which heroes get farmed. But to introduce the lineups to you guys, for the side of Power Rangers, on the Radiant side, Moon will be playing the carry Faceless Void, leaving Majestic to play the Earthshaker with J4 on the Mirana, Sunlight to play the Death Prophet mid lane, and Cheshire Cat up on the Batrider. And what? Okay, whew. Man, I misread it. I was like, he needs a quick 25-minute pause. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's what I read at first. All right. Well, looking at HEHE to be united, I suppose, his lineup. Moving over to the Wraith King, he will be in that carry role. It will be Chip Shajen. And then as the support Skyrath, we have the Coon, the stand-in apparently. And then as the mid-puck, we'll have HWA, or Hua. On the off-lane Centaur Roller Runner, it will be Fire, who actually did get hit with the Fissure, but just picks up the Illusion Rune and stunned by the arrow, but there is no kill potential there, really, for him. So, yeah, he'll just be chilling there. And, of course, finally, on the support Wisp, it will be Nihilus.
Yeah, and oh, is it in range? Yes. So unfortunate coming out from Fire at the moment. He wanted to pull the, or block the B camp as well as at the same time get some vision on the rune, but it was in a sentry range. And actually, since they didn't hit the Centaur, at the moment J4, he was just completely baiting out the Observer Ward. He made it so that Fire, with his Invis rune, and since J4 of course didn't hit him, he was 100% sure that there are no sentries there, but it was just epic bait.
And it looks like, can they actually spot this Observer Ward? That is the question. They have the vision, or they have the invisibility detection, but I don't even think they have the vision on the Observer Ward. So for now, that will, I guess, remain in its current position.
Yeah, it's actually a really nice position, to be honest. I can't say I've seen it there for a really long time, to be honest. So, sneaky positioning, and I don't know if they just completely gave up or what, and they used even 2 sentries for that. So if this Observer Ward, even if it stands there for like another minute or so, just preventing the pull for however long, it's going to be so crucial for Cheshire Cat to just get those early levels, have the sticky napalm as well as the Firefly, so he can actually harass the supports back pretty well as well.
Yeah, so already a nice ward advantage for Power Rangers. And if we check out the Centaur, he was actually kind of over near the mid lane for a little bit. He's only picked up 20 experience so far, and that's pretty unfortunate for the offlaner. This Batrider is definitely going to get a lot more levels. He's already almost up to 3 at this point, even getting a few last hits here and there. So from the look of things, Centaur's going to have quite the difficult game.
Yeah, he definitely is. Oh, he finds a haste rune though. Might make it a little bit easier to either get the gank or just get some XP. I do think J4 got vision of him though. So Sunlight, he should be safe. And Fire, what is he scouting for the courier or?
It's actually very possible. I mean, Death Prophet generally will pick up that the bottle, and she almost has 650 gold. It's the courier though. It was up at the top lane now, heading back to the mid. So. That really does seem to be kind of like his objective, but he will be spotted by the Marana as well as the Death Prophet. Actually, the Fissure is going to lock him in place. Arrow follow-up. This could be a first blood. if he's not careful, and indeed, that's what it looks like. He'll get a stomp off, but wait, no, he's not surviving. There's the first blood, and going to the probably best person to pick it up, the mid laner, and he'll get his bottle unhindered in addition to that kill.
Yeah, I mean, this centaur, he's still sitting on 20 points of XP. It's 3 minutes in now, and it's not like he can go jungle too well, although he knew that the supports aren't in the bottom lane, so he TP'd there immediately. Gonna be able to at least hit level 2, so I mean, they need him to get level 6, man. He's probably not gonna get a fast blink dagger anyway.
Close arrow, almost hit the puck. I think if that hit, would have probably been a kill follow-up on the mid lane.
Just keep
And
throwing
top,
them
though.
off.
Oh, this is going to be really bad. I think, yeah, Batrider got taken down. You just got hit with a few stuns. A little bit over-aggressive. Not much you can do in that situation, I suppose, though.
Yeah, they have a pretty good amount of slow between them as well. Reefer Blast, it stuns plus slows after that for 2 seconds as well. Then the Tether slow and the Concussive Shot. So plenty of slows to just hold on to the Batrider. He can't just go from high ground to low ground without taking too much damage. So they get themselves on the board, and they need this safe lane to just do extraordinarily well, because the other lanes, or at least I mean the bottom lane center, is not getting anything, and he's even rotating into the jungle now.
Yeah, I think things are going... Wait, actually this may just be a complete lane rotation, or... Nah, it looks like the supports are just doing a little bit of rotated towards the mid. They have spotted the Death Prophet, slowed her down as well, and Puck can come in here and potentially follow up, but Puck is kind of low on health. And actually another hit or two will take him down. And there's the Cryptstorm to finish the job there. Can there be a follow-up kill? No! Actually, HEHE loses 3 members, a triple kill to the Death Prophet. Okay, this is, that went from bad to worse over the matter of seconds. And now Power Rangers has a pretty darn significant lead.
I have no idea why he actually even forced that. I thought like maybe Hawa is level 6 on the Puck, but he was still level 5. With a Dream Coil, maybe, just maybe they could have done it. But they saw the double damage rune getting picked up, didn't they? The Death Prophet's right click, they hurt so much as well. He has a pretty good attack animation. And just landing, I think it was 1 3-man crit form and 1 2-man crit form. And even J-Force is coming in, getting the arrow to land on the IO, so there was nothing he could do in addition to just using the spells before getting stunned. So all in all, man, Sunlight on the Death Prophet. The only downside of him getting all the kills is that if he goes down now, he's gonna feed away a spree, but I think they're just willing to take that risk since he's off. I mean, he already has space boots, for God's sake.
Well, we'll see how he does against this potential coming out from the Scarth and the Wisp. The problem here is they have no actual hard stuns to kind of lock the Death Prophet in place, and with Puck not being level 6, there's no access to the Dream Coil, so it's still going to be hard for them to really lock down the Death Prophet and prevent him from, staying in lane, or getting out of that situation. But the supports, they do rotate back to the top lane, just helping out Wraith King. He has picked up his level 6 as well. And Mirana just catching a few levels in this offlane while Batrider rotates to the jungle and starts stacking up. He already has his Tranquil Boots as well as about 1,000 gold. So he should actually have a Plink Dagger pretty darn soon. Everything is, across the board, looking pretty darn good for Power Rangers.
I mean, don't think they can really just complain about anything at all. I mean, 23 lasses and Cheshire Cat now. Some of them are jungle creeps, smaller ones don't give as much gold, but then again, some give more gold. But bottom lane, Fire might be in trouble. Moon, he has the Chronos as well. Will they pop it? Yes, they will. He's going in with the right clicks. But Centaur, he's pretty damn tanky as Nihis. He gets the kill onto J4. The Fisher on the wrong side.
Okay, wait, he time walks forward, but will get stomped. And as their follow-up from the Batrider, he has his lasso, throwing down Sticky Napalm. This is really dangerous, but Batrider, he's diving, he's going for it, and he'll get the kill. A little sloppy, but at the end of the day, they did end up getting the kill. And also, I want to point out that Void has a Hand of Midas, so going straight up greed this game.
What? At the moment, they actually got the kill on top lane, or 2 kills even. They killed off the Death Prophet and Chips Haya, and he was the one to get the kill. And oh, what? Hava?
Batrider, he was caught in the Dream Coil and actually broke the coil and just ended up feeding a kill over to that Puck. Interestingly enough, it's 5-4 now. He have really started the comeback in this game. Death Prophet does have a lot of kills, but doesn't seem like they're doing as well on the other lanes anymore.
Yeah, this just the top lane giving away 2 kills there. A little bit too much. Of course, the Wraith King, he actually started the TP home. but cancel it. I'm not too sure if he was actually afraid that the creep wave might kill him because he was about to tank them up. But didn't go home, so he's low on mana now. Unless Ayo, yeah, he has a bottle, so he's gonna probably go back top lane, give Chips all the mana and health he needs.
Yeah, Ayo also has some tranquil bits, so there's at least you know, some farm for the
Mid
Wisp.
lane, Illusionor win, they get the silence as well. Do they have the Dream Coil? No, it's on cooldown. The slow from the
But
shot. What?
They still get the kill though with the Arcane Bolts. A little bit of a late fissure from the Earthshaker, and the Haste Rune, oh, it gets picked up by Earthshaker! Mirana, she backed away for a second just to make sure that the Earthshaker could pick up that rune, so he would be able to, you know, survive any potential ganks coming their way. And yeah, now the score is tied up 5-5 at 8.5 minutes into the match. HEHE, despite a somewhat rocky start, it looks like they're being a little bit more active with their rotations and getting more kills in for sure.
Yeah, it's suddenly looking pretty decent for them. Even with the last hits, they're not as far behind. Mid lane is 100% even pretty much, as are the safe lanes. Wraith King 52 and 10 compared to 55 and 23, but Moon, of course, has had that Hand of Midas running for some time already. So, just as far as net worth goes, Faceless Void, if it continues like this, he will pull a
mid lane. They're going to throw down the Dream Coil. Silence on the Death Prophet. She gets her ultimate up. Before that, though, and we'll see an arrow potentially flying out. Nope. It's on cooldown. They're trying to chase down the Puck, but he's getting healed up by the Wisp. And now, well, Power Rangers, they're starting to spread out a little bit and getting caught out of position. Looks like Earthshaker will indeed fall. Killed off by the Wraithfire Blast. And there's the ultimate coming in from the Centaur, giving a little bit of extra movement speed. Onto the Death Prophet they go. They get the kill there, but it's a trade for the Skywrath. Still, that's a trade I'd be willing to make. Also, Wraithing just going to town. He's going to go after the Faceless Void. Silenced up now. That means no Chronosphere available. It's a 3-for-1 trade. Fisher comes in as well. But this could be a bit of a mistake. Earthshaker has to back off. I don't see HEHE diving for that kill, and they will indeed back off. But overall, still a very solid trade for HEHE.
Man, what is this game in Power Rangers? What, they were like 4-1 at some point, suddenly 6-9 they are behind. And the Wraith King, he's 4-0-3. Yes, the Faceless Void is farming a little bit more in the safe lane, having that Hand of Midas, but the kills make more than up for it. But Fire might be in trouble. No Stampede Circuit. He's low on mana though, doesn't have enough for it less, so Firefly about to end soon, so he just picks up his Blink Dagger. And he's betting on just the next gank working out for them.
Yeah. Well, we do have the Moonlight Shadow, and they will spot out the Centaur. I don't think he's going to be able to survive this. Alright, well, there goes the Fissure. Arrow follow-up, but I think that actually hit one of the Mud Golems, so Centaur may actually survive here.
Yeah, actually the Relocate comes in as well, just to make sure, but the Chronosphere onto Free Fire. He's healing up a little bit thanks to the Nihil's Tether bottle, and, well, Chronosphere just for nothing.
Oh, no. And we're going to see them move forward onto the Faceless Void. Nice Fissure. They're locking people in place. This Dream Coil is keeping the Death Prophet, though, in place for a little bit longer. There's your lasso. Finally, we see it. Onto the Puck. He does have Phase Shift available, as well as the Waning Rift. Will just John out of there. Now trying to go onto the Wisp. I think he will maybe die, but no! The Centaur, the Stampede Ultimate, keeping him alive. And Power Rangers have just got to be feeling, you know, really annoyed at this point. They're just not quite able to get a kill here or there. But the action's not over yet. Centaur low on health. He actually ends up dying to the Death Prophet Exorcism. That seemed a little odd there. But he does give up his life. Maybe we'll see some type of turnaround coming in from Power Rangers, just chasing away that Wisp. And there are 3 stacks of Sticky Napalm on him. Silence as well onto the Batrider. One more hit. One more right click and they'll get the kill there. Now he's able to blink away in time, and now the Skywrath, he's looking to fall, and indeed down he will go. So that just kind of leaves this Wisp and Puck needing to hightail it out of here.
That fight was just 100% awkward, to be honest, but in the end, in that little skirmish, it was a 2-for-1 in the favor of Power Rangers by the end. I mean, I couldn't just follow it, but I knew the numbers. It was 6-9 before, so 8-10 now. In Power Rangers, they are striking back a little bit, but this Chronosphere, I mean, all good and well that you catch 3 heroes, almost 4, but when there's just no damage follow-up to speak of into it, it really doesn't do all that much.
Yeah, I mean, basically Void just went in there, he got the Chrono off, and he like hit, I believe the one of the enemy heroes once, the Centaur, and then just realize it's not going to work. He backs away, and there's going to be a stun onto the Batrider. He wanted to get that initiation, but not on the puck. It's simply not happening. And that's actually a killing spree for the Wisp. We'll have Wraithfire Blast go onto the Earthshaker. Moonlight Shadow, not fast enough to save. The Earthshaker as well, with the follow-up Mystic Flare. Another stun onto the Mirana. They do have a Sentry Ward down here. Silences as well. But she will be able to survive. Leaps to the low ground. And it's just, it feels like a very awkward engagements back and forth. They're going to go onto the Death Prophet this time around. And also the Waning Rift. They actually get the kill onto the Death Prophet. And maybe the more...
Oh, goddamn.
That's the second time, Counter, the second time that his Faceless Void has gone into an engagement and not been able to do anything. Wraith King down to 65 health. He does have his ultimate available, so if they want, they can use it. Another Wraithfire Blast to finish off the Batrider, and man, this guy just basically has unlimited mana with the Wisp helping him out.
Yeah, it's just such a good combination, or at least they are making it good at the moment. I have seen a lot of teams going up against HEHE just straight out panning up the IO in the first phase even. And looks like Power Rangers, if this game continues like this, they might have to do the same. But Arrow mid lane, gonna get phase shifted out, hit a melee creep anyway. But 40 minutes in, 15-8. And, I mean, we have to remember, Power Rangers, they were the ones just getting the good start on pretty much every single lane. But suddenly, they got enough levels to go aggressive, and they've never stopped since.
Yeah, and looking at the overall kills, it looks like Wraith King has really snuck up on us. He's actually 7-0, picked up his Blank Dagger as well as the Maelstrom, so his farm is looking absolutely amazing. And that's unfortunate as, well, hold on, mid lane, Chronosphere onto the Wisp, and this probably will be a kill, yeah, finish the job. And there's just nothing that anyone else can do. Actually, though, there's going to be a lasso onto the Skywrath. They're going to drag him back for a double kill. And this also leaves the mid tower open and available for Power Rangers to kind of pick away. They do force out the fortification, but still that's a little bit of time left on the Exorcism. And well, will they actually try to take down the tower? That is the question. They want to, but what do you think, man?
I think they'll just back off at the moment. No need to force the issue too much. I mean, they got 3 kills after all for absolutely nothing. Getting some much needed just rest in return. Actually, Death Prophet finishes up the drums now as well. So going for a little bit of tank as well. Wants to be able to actually survive the just burst coming in from HEHE. And do they have anybody going for a mech? It sure doesn't look like it. And man, I'm a
Batrider top lane though. He tried the TP away, but was not able to get out of there in time. So it looks like Wisp and Io just finishing him off there. But yeah, looking at someone who could complete the mech, are they just mechless game?
Yeah, I mean, it sure feels like that at the moment. I guess for HEHE, it's gonna be the IO to build it, and actually only needs the recipe for it now, so him being involved in so many kills definitely just helps boost the IO gold and get the mech at the irrelevant timing. But the Stampede comes out in one pitch, just blink in, Fire Blast, and easiest kill of their life.
Yeah, even the Wraith King getting a nice crit there just to make the job quick and easily. They'll also probably get this middle tower behind this as well. Power Rangers, no fortification, so with the Glyph unavailable, there's really no way they could have saved that tower. And as a group of 5, they actually have a lot of Roche potential right now. They are on the dire side. They've picked up a point into Vampiric Aura. They have tanky frontliners, and I think they've realized this as well. They say, all right, we're ahead right now. We've got the map control. We've got the observers and stuff. Let's go ahead and, you know, just take an easy early Aegis.
Yeah, I mean, the arrow is flying as well. It's actually going to connect onto fire, but it's just going to slow down Roche a tiny bit. And Chipshine, with that extra movement speed, attack speed, I mean, coming out from just the overcharge, it just helps them take Roshan that much faster. There's still no minus armor, so I mean, to be honest, if Power Rangers wanted to contest, they very well could have with just a Chronosphere, but they decide against it, and I guess they just want a tier 2 top lane for it.
Yeah, they actually have really good rush potential, but nah, they, I guess maybe you're feeling a little bit too afraid. I mean, get your Fissure, you have Exorcism, like you said, the Chrono. I think if they're in a little bit of a better position, they could have gone for it. The top tower looks to go towards the way of Power Rangers, so even though they lost Rosh, they at least got that. But oh, Batrider, he's spotted, and oh, they just pile onto him, and there's nothing that could have been done. Arrow flies out is Not unable to connect. Now we'll have a concussive shot onto the Death Prophet, slowing her down. She does have the Exorcism available for another few seconds, and nice Chronosphere being used on the Wraith King and the Wisp, as well as the Centaur, but it's just used purely defensively. So, with the Wisp jumping onto the Earthshaker, actually cancels the TP with the ultimate, and then just picked off by the Dagon. So once again, HEHE just, they're pulling more and more ahead in these engagements.
Yeah, I mean, since they were just chasing, they weren't actually fighting Power Ranger this. He still has his mech in the stash, but he didn't really even need it. They didn't lose a single point of HP, more or less, and Moon now. Time walks away with Chipsan, he's gonna get the Brave Fire Blast. Can they actually follow up his whole tether? Still on cooldown for 1 second, time going for the TP out, and will succeed maybe the crits?
Oh, close, but no cigar. Another, like, half of second would have pretty much been the death of that Faceless Void. In top lane, we actually have the Aegis getting burned, which the Centaur did have in his inventory, so it's definitely something to be aware of. Power Rangers actually have everybody alive right now, and they are in a position to kind of hold on to their tier 2 towers for a little bit longer, but if you look at the top tower, it's already down to 200 health. So PR, they need to be very aware of that tower and you know, make their best efforts to keep that lane from getting pushed in too much.
Yeah, I mean, I would have not in a million years thought that this game, 90 minutes in, is gonna have a almost 7,500 gold lead, as well as a 7,500 XP lead for HEHE, with the way this game started. Like, I was just like, no way in hell is this gonna happen, but HEHE, they are just the masters of aggression in this game at the moment, and the IO just allowing for them to do so much that they otherwise couldn't have, just because Brave King has so much mana. But oh, Stampede, they want Sunlight, can they get him Sun? Hoof Stomp? I don't think they can get in range, but Hawa, he comes in, Dream Coil just in case, Double Edge to finish it.
Just more pickoffs coming left and right. There's a Fissure, and Faceless Void will come in, gets a triple Chrono, and they're trying to go onto the Wisp, but they're buying a little bit of time with the ultimate from Skywrath, and oh, this is going to get very bad. We'll have the Drag coming back, but this Wraith King, man, he's finished up his Mjolnir and can just go absolute ham on the enemy team. The Void's already down, and Earthshaker forced the run away. It's, I guess, a 2 for 3 now. They did burn that reincarnation on the Wraith King, but he's good to go for round 2, and Power Rangers are surviving by the skin of their teeth, and they only have 2 heroes to survive that engagement. So overall, it does slightly favor HEHE, I feel, and they will potentially get a tier 2 tower behind this. So if they indeed get this tower, then it's definitely a good trade for them.
I mean, and they did only lose supports as well, unless they lose some now trying to go for this push. I mean, just to be honest, this Batrider, he has been the one getting jumped most of the time, rather than being the one just going in, getting a proper lasso. It feels like he only did it properly once when they just killed off 3 heroes mid lane, and he just caught the lasso onto a running away Skyref. So usually we want the Batrider, you want to be the team initiating, but they're just, with their Blink Dagger, especially the early Blink Dagger on the Wraith King, I mean, he's just so unbelievably stacked. What is gold per minute? 540, without the Hand of Midas, of course. And Moon, man, he's had the Hand of Midas, but little good has it done him.
Well, checking out mid lane, Wraith King just continuing to, you know, push up this lane a little bit. You can, I mean, just look at how aggressive HEHE are. They're just kind of camping the mid lane near the water and waiting for a jump to potentially happen. And Death Prophet will be the one they could jump on, but she just goes ahead, pops her Yules, then the drums. So they can't take down the Death Prophet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see HEHE kind of make a move for the mid lane. Batrider's now teleported in and is pretty much good to go if he needs to jump in on somebody, but we'll have a stun onto the Faceless Void and then a follow ultimate from the Skywrath. But Faceless Void able to escape in the neck of time. Can we have a counter initiation onto the Puck? There will be a Chrono. That's actually a very nice Chrono, hitting 3 members, so Puck does indeed go down. But Power Rangers, I think it's smart for them to back away, and that's exactly what they'll do. They get the kill, they're okay with it, and, you know, they don't want to commit anything else to that engagement.
Yeah, I mean, just getting that 1 kill is good enough for them, unless Chipsign just thinks to jump in solo. And now with this Fissure of Chicker, he's got enough gold, finishes up his Blink Dagger as well. So the potential of a Blink Echo Slam is there, although Echo Slam, it's still only level 1.
Yeah, well, down to the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane we go. And everybody from Power Rangers has came down there to defend, except for the Batrider will have an initiation onto the Death Prophet. She's silenced up, unable to do anything. Centaur low on health. The mech, though, buying him a little bit of time now. Wisp helping out as well. And in comes the Echo Slam. Does a good amount of damage. They're able to take down 2, but... well, actually, they get 3. This is turning into not the best situation for HEHE. They're also going to drag back onto the Wisp. So that turns out being a very favorable for Power Rangers overall. Can they get the Wraith King as well? He does have his ultimate. And this probably means, yeah, Power Rangers, they will back away. Wait. There's a stun, though, from the Wraith King. Can he get a lucky crit? The backtracks. They're buying enough time. Wisp going in, though, and uses the Waning Rift as well as the Dagon, just to make sure they get that kill. Sorry, Dream Coil, not the Waning Rift.
Yes, so, I mean, in the end, I guess it was a rather even trade. I mean, Puck, he was dead before the fight even started. So, they lose 3, they lose the Reincarnation, which is not too big of a deal. Yes, it's still level 2, but... it's all well and good. I think Wraith King might not die before the cooldown comes off anyway. And they will most likely get the tier 2 as well. I mean, it doesn't have too much health left, and Wraith King just hits hard enough or fast enough with the Mjolnir. So,
yeah.
Power Rangers, at least, to be honest, at this point in time, just throwing even in fights is still favoring them a little bit, since they are so far behind.
Yeah, that is a good point you bring up. I guess it will come down to how fast can HEHE knock on the tier 3 towers and maybe get a set of racks for them. If they can get one, within the next 10 minutes, I think they'll put themselves in a very favorable position. But if the game kind of drags on for a little bit longer and not much is really accomplished, they just trade a little bit back and forth, we'll start to see Void getting more dangerous. He doesn't have any DPS items to speak of. Just working into getting that Black King bar so he can kind of survive these fights for a little bit longer. It feels like that item is basically needed against HEHE. All of the ultimates that they have are just really annoying to deal with, as well as the silences and stuns, a lot of them. But really unfortunate that Void doesn't have any DPS items, even though he picked up that early hand of Midas.
Yeah, and actually Sunlight, he gets the Yules onto Howard. Will it be enough, Chipsan? Oh, he gets silenced up, so if he goes down, he's gonna feed up so much gold. The exorcism activated. Well, he's gone. 1,000 gold to
wow.
G4.
Well then, that happened, I suppose. Wraith King does have a buyback if he wants to use it, but, well, what am I talking about? He's not going to use that, but still, nice kill for Power Rangers there. They're sticking in this game, even though things have been going their way. It feels like they're starting to stabilize a little bit more, trade slightly more favorably as time goes on in these fights. And I mean, Death Prophet, Void, they're only going to get bigger and bigger. We'll see Yules onto Skywrath Mage, Arrow follow-up, will it connect? Unfortunately, will not for him. The Fisher as well misses with Batrider. We'll get the lasso on. In comes the Puck as well, doing a little bit of damage. We'll have a relocate, purely just from the Wisp, however. And ends up just being a 1-for-1, I believe. Now Chrono going down as well, and it's going to go on 2 this time. Arrow follow-up. They get the Puck. They're going to get the Wisp as well, and Centaur being thrown into the air. This could even be a 3rd kill. He said, I'm backtracked into place. Unable to do anything, but with the Wisp coming in, and now Wraith King, he's back. We'll probably see Power Rangers just back away and kind of be happy with the trade they got.
Yeah, I mean, if they aren't happy, there's something wrong with the just mental health, to be honest. Although Moon still not in the clear yet. No, he time walks away. He should be far enough by now. So Power Rangers, they just take an excellent fight, and this Chronosphere, they kind of ran into it. They tunnel vision this part where the rest of the Power Ranger heroes were coming, but suddenly Faceless Void just came in from here. Easy Freeman Chrono. Of course, Nihis, he got the relocate back out, or I mean, I say he got, but it happens anyway after 12 seconds after you relocate first, so he was lucky enough to time out before he was actually taken out himself. But bottom lane, Power Rangers, they are grouped up, they even smoke Mundo. Wow, they go in there with the last one to fire. Shoop an easy kill, Arrow to follow up as well, it connects. Fisher is there, and man, Power Rangers, this pause seemed to just ignite something in them.
I don't know if it was just the pause, but Power Rangers have been doing a little bit better overall as this time goes on. I think one important thing to point out is that Batrider's finally been getting some solid blasts, and he just wasn't getting anything in the earlier stages, even when he had a Blink Dagger. But now with that completed, as well as the Force Staff and even an Ogre Club to give him a little bit more survivability, he's got that going for him, and also picked up a Gem of True Sight, so there will be a little bit of dewarding come out coming out from the Batrider. But what do you think about getting a Gem of True Sight this early into the game, especially when you have a Mirana on your team?
I mean, it's not too bad of a thing to have a gem at any point in the game if you have somebody who can actually hold it reliably and just hope to escape from a team fight even if the fight goes bad for you. Of course, if you lose the gem, it's gonna be an absolute disaster suddenly, HEHE. If they're running around with the gem and seeing Mirana, seeing everybody. But just if you're behind, map vision is even more important than when you're ahead a little bit. Because you just can't afford to get picked up even more, and Chisercat with an invis rune might catch Hava. But I think backup is close enough. The arrow, is it gonna fly? He's gonna go for it. Arrow, is it gonna fly at all? Yes it is. Spot on and easy kill.
Alright, well, I think Puck died pretty much the same way last time, just getting lassoed and then, you know, hit by barrage of spells, or at least I know the Centaur did. So, Power Rangers, man, they're coming back with the force, man. They're coming back with a vengeance. Looking at the experience and gold differences, it's still about 5k advantage for HEHE. They have not been doing as good recently, and they may not even be able to defend this tower, but we'll have the pipe come out, and a nice triple Corona as well. Out comes the Exorcism, doing a lot of damage to this Wraith King. That ultimate will get popped pretty fast. They take down the Centaur as well. This fight already going way into Power Rangers' favor. Ultimate going down onto the Faceless Void, but not taken down. And it is looking like Wraith King will fall. He's just silenced up, unable to blink. Now can they get the support duo? Nice double fissure. And look at that! It's a 5-man team wipe on HEHE. Power Rangers. They were behind. The score is even, but I mean, don't just look at that. I'm pretty sure at this point they've got a dominating lead.
Yeah, it's probably the crafts might be zeroed out, although they got the tier 1 as well. Although TP's coming in, Hava, can he do anything? He has a Shiva's card. Oh, he cancels it. Thank God, a silence and an arrow would have waited for him. But that fight was almost purely decided by just the surprise BKB from the Faceless Void. It was the first time he got it. So they jumped in with the Centaur, tried to hoof him up suddenly. BKB is there, no stuns, and 3-man Chronosphere. But not only that, Nihis. He actually saved the Skyrev Mage from the Chronosphere with like a 1 foot relocate, or 1 foot distance away from the Chrono. But I just think it might have been worth to just either save the Centaur or maybe the Wraith King from that Chrono instead of the Skyrev Mage. I mean, Skyrev Mage, he was on the far edge of it anyway, so wouldn't have gotten the brunt of Power Rangers damage. So, man, I don't know. That fight was just absolute brilliance from Power Rangers, and I mean, they didn't get nothing. Just literally, they got nothing in return. They lost 2 towers as well.
Yeah, I think the 2 towers is not to be understated as well. That's pretty big after losing a 5-man team fight as well. So we could have a big engagement in the Roshan pit. Power Rangers did grab it the first time around. Here's another Chrono coming down. This is a level 3 Chrono, so the cooldown pretty low at this point. Lasso onto the Centaur as well. He's able to stampede out of there, pop the pipe as well, buying a lot of time for HEHE to kind of stay alive in this engagement. And all of a sudden, the Moran is dead, as well as the Earthshaker. Can we have another one? It looks like the Death Prophet will be the one to fall. Double buyback from Power Rangers. Death Prophet may be forced to do the same as well, but they will not do that. I think that the buyback's coming out just to make sure that HEHE doesn't have easy access to a free Roshan kill. And Power Rangers moving everybody still in position near the Rush Pit. Could we see either team actually try to go in there and, you know, take him down for the second time into the game?
Oh man, this fight, I mean, the buybacks for Power Rangers definitely hurt them at the moment, and they also lost the courier. So almost a tower worth of gold for HEHE now with this. Chip Sign, he was the one to pick it up in the fight. It was delivering an overclub to Batrider. Arrow flies. Oh, he hits into the rose chest. HEHE like, thanks for helping us, guys.
Well, they're pretty happy about that. Also, something important to point out, Wraith King has finished up his Assault Cuirass, so that's a lot more armor as well as attack speed for them. A little bit of extra negative armor for the opposing team. And, well, just like that, Power Rangers, they end up not being able to get that Aegis.
Oh man, this hurt a lot too much. Chip Sign, he has his AC now finished as well on the Wraith King. So killing him will be a lot harder, as will killing anybody, since the AC helps against the Exorcism, which is physical damage. So it's a really nice item pickup. I really like the Wraith King, and when he has a built-in crit anyway, so just really needs the attack speed and will dish out the damage that way. Do they have any other item pickups, or at least huge ones? Doesn't look like they've upgraded too much at the moment. Of course, they did lose quite a lot as well with just losing 2 consecutive team fights. But they will get to tier 2. And look in the graphs again. Just a little bit up and down. 2,500 gold lead, XP. Only 1,500, so rather even game now.
Yeah. I'm as far as other item pickups, I suppose Shiva's on Puck. This is something that you definitely don't see as much. Still an item that can be very beneficial to the Puck. And we'll have HEHE. I think they've realized that they need to finish this game sooner rather than later. Stun and, well, a silence, I suppose, from the Puck doesn't really accomplish anything. He'll go ahead and back out of there. That Rider, can he find a target to lasso? That's the question. He wants somebody, but he's not able to grab anyone just quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, Chipson, he can definitely like, oh, blink stun, but just intimidations. But Moon, he goes in with a 2-man chrono. Can actually get enough Puck. He goes down, loses the Aegis, Chipson. Reincarnation popped and Firewall. He's in no man's land against 5 enemy heroes. It's a disaster. 2 heroes down, Chipson. Oh, Echo Slam, he's just stun locked completely, and the Exorcism does its job. Man, 3 heroes down, can they get more?
Well, they will. They get the 4th. And, oh my gosh, they're going to get the Wisp as well. So, oh no, they're going to get the lasso onto the Puck. That's a full 5-man team wipe once again by Power Rangers, man. These guys, it looks like as long as the fights don't go absolutely horribly, then they're taking names and, you know, kicking ass at this point. It is 32-30, but don't let that fool you, man. I feel like Power Rangers are in a really good spot at this point. They've kind of gotten past that lump in the early game when they lacked damage. For instance, Faceless Boy, he has picked up a Maelstrom, so adding a little bit more DPS for his team. And Death Prophet only has the Plate Mill, but could build into another nice defensive item in the later stages, should she desire. So overall, man, Power Rangers, they're looking pretty solid, and I have to say, man, I really think they're going to take this game at this point.
And I still think both teams stand a pretty good chance, but just 2 fights now have completely been decided by BKBs more or less. This time around, it was the Death Prophet to have his own BKB finished. Actually, it's down to 8 seconds already, so I guess he had it before, but just being able to dodge the stuns and stand in the fight, have the Exorcism do the work, but not only that, they were so spread out thanks to the Chronosphere. 2 heroes were caught in the Chrono, I think. Then Fire, he blinked in past the Chrono, but just if you're next to the Death Prophet and the Exorcism is activated, that is literally just the last position you want to be in, and no matter how much armor you have, I guess if you have like Shivas plus AC plus something in addition, yes, maybe you can tank it up, but no one hero at the moment can just take all the damage in the face, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. You're trying to go toe-to-toe with the Death Prophet, you're gonna end up dead, man. That's just kind of how it works.
Now,
so
there's a BKB on Batrider as well, even, so they have 3 BKBs to work with.
that's really nice. I mean, when you look at HEHE's lineup, they have so much magical damage, and they really rely on getting those stuns off, using those spells and the silences. They have a lot of stuns and a lot of silence, but pretty much none of them go through magic immunity. I think, I guess the Dream Coil may be the only spell that actually Power Rangers has to worry about, and everything else they can kind of deal with pretty decently if they pick up a few Black King bars. So, you know, and they've gotten those. So I think that's one of the reasons why these team fights just haven't been really favoring HEHE over the past 10 minutes or so.
And well, at the moment, Wraith King, he has all the attack speed that he can just pretty much need or want. What's his next item gonna be? Is it gonna be just Basher into Abyssal Blade or some other form of damage?
I would imagine it's the Basher. You know, just getting a little bit of extra lockdown never hurts for the Wraith King. And he's got the attack speed already, pretty much with the Assault Cures and the Mjolnir. So, I mean, you know, just going for straight up damage at this point is probably looking to be the best choice of item for him here.
Yeah, and actually this looks to be one of those few games that the Faceless Boy doesn't go for a Mask of Madness on. I mean, they were a little bit behind as well, and he definitely would have just completely melted under the burst of HEHE if he had the Mask of Madness activated. So, I mean, I guess he gets his attack speed from the Hand of Midas as it is, and the Maelstrom. But now he has 4k gold in the bank. Is he going to finish up the Mjolnir or going for something else altogether?
Well, I wouldn't mind the Maelstrom finishing into the Mjolnir. I think that would be, I guess, a pretty obvious choice for him to do. If he wants to build more damage, he can just go straight into that Daedalus. I don't think he'll be going for an Agnum Scepter at this point in the game. The Chronosphere is already up to level 3, and the Scepter cooldown, it's still 20 seconds less, but I don't think it's going to be a game changer for them at this point. Power Rangers just have to keep up with the physical damage and DPS, and if they can put a little bit more of that onto the Faceless Void, then he should be A-okay, and yay, finally, getting out of the pause, so we're going to get back into the action. We'll have a Stampede, very quick initiation onto the Earthshaker. He had no idea what was coming his way. Defensive ultimate from the Void being used just to make sure that Power Rangers can safely escape this Bat Rider, though I am a bit concerned about him. He does blink into the Roshan pit, and if anyone goes in there, then he's just dead meat. He is not spotted, though, so Bat Rider will make it out A-okay.
Ooh, that was cutting it pretty damn close at the moment. I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to blink into the Roche pit. I'm pretty sure he wanted to get over it, but he survived, so that's what's important in the end. But looking at the graphs again, it's what, a 800 gold lead for HEHE. XP actually almost 5,000, a little bit more even for Power Rangers. Now it dropped down with that kill on the Earthshaker, so 4k in Power Rangers' favor, gold, about 1.5 for HEHE. But nonetheless, just such an even game, lots of up and downs, throwing going on, or just great plays by the defending team, I guess. But now, the defense, can it come? There's no Chronosphere for another 15 seconds.
Yeah, oh, we're gonna have a lasso onto the puck. Silence follow-up as well, but he's just a little bit too tanky. Will get away just in time. The Centaur, excuse me, not the Centaur, the Wraith King, he does go down for the first time, and he could, yes, he will end up going down a second time. Faceless Void now just going ham on these heroes, finishes off the Skywrath, the Wisp falls as well, and everyone from HEHE is just straight up running away. We'll have a Yule Scepter onto Puck. Can he blink away in time? That's the question. We'll have actually a double buyback, I believe, from this, or not a double buyback, just a single one. And they are able to take down a few heroes, but the Centaur as well as the Earthshaker. So, alright. They did have to spend a buyback, but HEHE, I suppose they salvaged which looked to be a pretty terrible fight.
Holy crap, man. Definitely HEHE, that one buyback made some of the difference there, and a really nice jump in from the center as well. Double hoof stomp, double H to follow. But this Death Prophet, actually, if his exorcism had lasted for like 2-3 seconds longer, he would have died there. I don't think the exorcism would have been enough to get any counter kills either at it. But the spirits returning to him healed him up just after the double H came through. He was down to like, what, 10% HP at best. But just suddenly the spirits came back and he was down, or back up to full HP, so ended up saving him kind of. But Power Rangers, once again, they just defend and they do it so well. And Wraith King, he was left alone to tank up the exorcism at the tier 3. And you just can't have that happen. Yes, he has the reincarnation, but if you can't make any use of the reincarnation slow as well, it's definitely not a spell, since he just reincarnated back to the same old shitty position and died the second time.
Well, Death Prophet's picked up a Shiva's Guard, so both teams, well, not both teams, but there are double Shivas, I suppose, for the Puck as well as the Death Prophet. Death Prophet also has a Blacking Bar. She's had that for a while, but I'm thinking like a Heart is probably the next logical choice for her. And looking over at this Wraith King...
But where's he at, man? He's so reliant on just getting his blink off before he takes any damage. But the Fisher, where's the follow-up, guys? Where's the follow-up? Not in sight, and he finally blinks away, but still in the Midland Moon. He has the Chronosphere arrow, it's gonna miss.
And I like that the Faceless Forge showed a little bit of restraint. He's been getting like 3-man Chronos. We'll hold on. Looks like we'll have an initiation onto the Bat Rider. Wisp as well as the Suns are getting things done. They also pick up the gem. This is actually huge because Power Rangers, they have the Marana. They will not be able to really rely on Moonlight Shadow as long as they know that the Centaur has a gem in his inventory as well.
Yeah, and another huge item pickup as well. Hava on the Puck. He's actually level 21 as well, so he's doing pretty good. But he has a Hex finish now on the Puck. He has so much farm. Net worth wise, he's actually number 2. Like, what? That Puck.
That Puck, man. Well, I mean, he's 13 and 6. That's a lot of kills, I have to say. So I'm not entirely surprised. But I mean, yeah, they need to push up eventually. It's got to happen before this Death Prophet gets too big, this Faceless Void gets too big, and Batrider, he has buyback, but he's still down for about another 10 seconds, which could buy a little bit of time. The Fissure's also being used just to kind of, add in those extra seconds. And with that Batrider, looks like he'll be back in business, and we cannot see a push coming out from HEHE, and it feels like they really do want to actually push, but they've just been unable to.
Yeah, and to be honest, this Fissure wrecks HEHE just for the fact that they have a melee carry. If they had a ranged one, they could still do at least some damage to towers, but nope. Oh, Evil's up onto the Wraith King. Blink already used as well. Fissure to follow up. Exorcism pop for it. Can they get the kill Shivas? No, just Stampede and relocate it to safety. Well, I say safety, but it was pretty damn close there.
Yeah, nice little cheeky plays from the Wisp, and... well, yeah, they just want to confirm the kill. Oh, no! Wisp actually gets away. He has a Blink Dagger.
And now Exorcism is gonna be on cooldown, and HEHE, that's really their opening to fight now. I mean, no Exorcism, no huge amounts of damage to come out. I guess say Blink Echo Slam can do the same, but for that HEHE should just group up completely.
Yeah, I don't really see that happening from HEHE. They're going to get aggressive at this point. A nice arrow, though, from the Mirana hits Wraith King, stops him right in his tracks, and HEHE actually saying, alright, let's push down mid, or push down mid, then go bot. They want to make something happen, and I think this may be one of the best chances in this game for that to happen. If they wait much longer, Power Rangers are just going to get too tanky and too big, while I feel like HEHE, this is kind of like their prime time in the game, and anything after this, it's almost always going to kind of go down on a negative turn. So, I mean, the last big engagements really went Power Rangers' way, so we'll see if HEHE can, shake things up, change things up a little bit.
Well, I guess they're trying to. The pipe was activated already as well, but they just don't have the means to go high ground. They tried switching up lanes, but they weren't fast enough to do that even either. So just breaking high ground, it's gonna be the hardest part for HEHE. Although at least Centaur is tanking up as well, going for his Heart of Tarrasque, has the Reaver already. So he potentially can maybe survive the Exorcism, or I guess just survive for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I guess just like a little bit longer in general, and that's probably what he wants, considering that he's 5 and 7 this game. That's a pretty solid amount of deaths. Go ahead and check on Roshan, but he's not around for about another minute or so. So sorry, HEHE, but he's just not here.
Yeah, it's just RNG coming into play. It's almost always like, if the dire side is having a good enough time, they will almost guaranteed take every Roshan for themselves. So if it's a long respawn timer, the Radiant team should be extremely happy about it. But do you know what buff Centaur should receive to the return, which is also already a pretty ridiculous ability, but every Death Prophet spirit that passes through invokes return. That would be some sick shit. You would never see Death Prophet against Centaur. Like, never.
No, I would never see that. It's alright, we're going to have a relocate somewhere, and didn't really accomplish much, but Roshan, he's back in the pit, looking for a little bit of revenge, but Wraith King's here, as well as the Skywrath. Centaur's nearby. Will we have some type of Power Ranger-esque attack heading towards the mid lane? They have a lot of people already, and they've pretty much grouped up, but the problem here is Roshan's already under half health, and he should die pretty darn easily.
Yeah, I mean, they got the arrow on fire, but they were a little bit too far away, so it's gonna be Roshan with an Aegis and a cheese as well. They even pop the pipe just to make sure, and with these chips, he has enough to actually purchase a BKB, but Wraith King with 3 lives.
Yeah. Who's going to get the cheese? It looked like it would have been Puck, but I think Centaur wants it. So yeah, he goes ahead and just picks up the cheese.
Oh, well, with the BKB finished now on Wraith King, with him having triple lives, when does he activate the BKB? On which life?
That's the $1 million question. I suppose it's just situational, and when you think it'll be the best or the most effective in the fight.
Oh man, just such a troll thing, having 3 lives. Of course, it will be extremely hard to burn through it, and the thing is as well, that the reincarnation has priority over the Aegis. So in theory, you might not even lose the Aegis and have the reincarnation already come off cooldown. But now Heart also gonna be finished on center, so almost 3k HP. Definitely good candidate for the cheese. Just wait until it's almost gonna go down, pop the cheese and just tank it up further. Oh, the Fisher, do they get the lasso on him? If they get the kill, it's gonna be huge. The arrow follow-up. It's perfect, but relocated to safety.
And we'll actually have a 3-man chrono onto the Puck, Skywrath as well as the Centaur, but the damage from Faceless Void, where is it? They do get a kill onto Skywrath, and a nice Echo Slam follow-up as well, but Faceless Void, he can't take the heat. Down he goes, and he has to buy back basically just to survive, but still, he losing both of their support heroes, and with the buyback on Faceless Void, this should be a good team fight for them. Sunlight though, can he take down the Wraith King? The ultimate will get used to slow him, as well as the Faceless Void kind of in their tracks. And it was kind of standoffish actually, but I feel like he did slightly get the better end of the stick there, because Faceless Void did have to buy back.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no Chronosphere anymore, no Exorcism as well. They can easily go in. Oh, nope, Cheshire got a little bit too late there. Now Fire, the Hoof Stomp actually connects. Shiva's card to slow him down in return, but without the Exorcism, he's just so damn tanky. Mjolnir buff on him as well. Cheshire is going for the lasso, but Fire, he's not gonna die to this, or is he? No, he comes in as well. Heals him up a little bit, earn onto chips. Mech popped, so Rax will fall down, and man, he with this fight, just having the Aegis and cheese making a hell of a difference.
Yeah, it's like they pretty much stopped being afraid to, like, straight up take on Power Rangers mano-a-mano, like team battle versus team battle, and they have pretty darn good team fight. It's not on the same level as Power Rangers when it comes to the super late game, but we're still not there yet for some of these heroes. So I think they're still in a pretty darn good position considering how the draft's gone.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are at the moment. Death Prophet, he only has the Shiva's card pretty much, so it's definitely not the tankiest. Yes, he has the BKB, but the physical damage by the Wraith King by now is pretty good. I mean, he still actually doesn't have any proper damage items, so to say, but just the attack speed, especially together with the overcharge.
Now relocate onto the bottom lane though, but nice triple man chrono from this Faceless Void. He wants to escape, and indeed he will. Man, this Faceless Void, the Chronospheres have been hitting pretty darn spot on almost the entire game. It's almost always like a 3-man chrono, sometimes 2, but generally at least that. So he's in a really good position in mid lane.
As well, arrow, it will land onto Hava. Actually, never mind, it missed a little bit the Stampede. They're gonna get out to safety, but the Exorcism activated Sunlight, BKB, it already wore off. He's going for the TP out. What kills can they get? Majestic, stand up, uses the Ghost Scepter. Actually, everybody's still alive somehow. Still J4, leap, oh, gets to the high ground. Are you kidding me? Nope, Illusion gets the kill.
Very well played by the Puck.
But still, only getting 1 kill. I think it looked so good for them, the fight, to begin with. But, nope, not happening for either side. But Exorcism on cooldown. Chronosphere also for another 23 seconds. Can Power Rangers just defend the Rex?
This is where, things get tough. Things you're not entirely sure about. They don't have the Exorcism. They have the lasso. Chrono will be up in 10 seconds, but until then they don't have any real, necessary abilities to kind of keep this tower alive. They will use the glyph, buying a little bit of time, but man, he are quite literally knocking on the doorstep of Power Rangers, and they lose this tier 3 tower. There's just simply nothing that can be done about that, and if they're not careful, Centaur Warrunner will take down the melee barracks as well. The lasso, just locking him into place, but look at that, man. The BKB is being used from both ends, and we will see the Wisp go down. Can we get another kill from this Faceless Void? No, he's being chased away by the Wraith King as well as the Skywrath. And 1 death down for the big bony man. And it looks like just will be 1 this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they just can't defend at the moment. No Exorcism, it's still on cooldown. Hawa is just so close. It actually blinks in. It just gets the Hex off, but nothing more. And they're gonna back off. Can Cheshire Cat catch anybody? Moon, he wants to go in as well, but everything is in cooldown. Slow down on Cheshire Cat. BKB a little bit too late. Hoof Stomp doesn't do much of anything. Fire now. Slow down. He might be the casualty, but I think he is gonna be fine with that. Even if the fire goes down. So tanky, so tanky.
Oh yeah, even uses that pipe ball, and Wraith King coming in from the other side. he will burn the Aegis. A little odd, but he goes ahead and does that center, pops the Stampede ultimate, and really wants to try to chase down that Death Prophet, who's down like the 25 health, but no. She'll just narrowly survive, and Death Prophet lives the fight another day. That being said, Faceless Void, he may not be so lucky. 1 or 2 more right clicks, nope, not even required. The damage from the Mjolnir proc was enough to finish off the Faceless Void, so he's dead for 100 seconds, and on that note, the middle tier 2 or middle tier 3 barracks are down. The tier 3 tower top lane about half health. Maybe the Death Prophet can do something. Buying a little bit of time. Centaur is still somehow surviving out of that engagement. But yeah, it's not looking good at all for Power Rangers.
In Sunlight, he's trying to get some kills. Fire, he's gonna go down. Double kill for him, but he's hexed up. Nice 4-step over the Fisher. And Chip Sign now, he has the reincarnation and he's not gonna even go down. Maybe kill Chief or nope. It's GG Cold Hava. Just kills everybody if they on level 4. And man, this game was a pretty long one. Lots of just back and forth going on. But he in the end, they kind of out-coordinated. And the Centaur just being almost unkillable with the help of the Wisp.
Yeah, definitely Power Rangers. It felt like at certain times they kind of had a lack of direction where they were going. Maybe, you know, they're still trying to recover from losing one of their players, the Na'vi, but regardless, well played by HEHE, and we'll see if they can repeat their success in game number 2.
Yeah, and that we shall see indeed, and that's exactly where we're heading as well, guys. So, if you want to see some more Power Rangers or HEHE Dota, it's gonna come up in a couple of minutes time, but until then, just a few songs, and as always, if you liked us, be sure to follow us on this channel, as well as HeflaTV1 and HeflaMoke. And also our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and VK. Yes, we try to use it, if you remember, for the Russian viewers, but mostly Facebook and Twitter, HeflaTV for them. And the votes directly up to our YouTube, always uploaded. It's youtube/ or youtube.com/HeflaMoke. And of course, if you want to just follow the casters, I'm at Coucher on Twitter, my co-caster at Whiplash. It's also in the title of Twitch if you want to check it out. So, guys, see you in game 2.